Hi everyone, welcome to Awkward Author. My name is Alyssa Grasso, and this is my weekly vlog and podcast about my sometimes awkward, always awesome, mostly awesome author life. It's been a bit of an awkward week this week, and I'll get to that in a little bit. Some frustrations I'm having getting my box set all fully live. I have been making progress on my next book, so that's good, and it is a new month, so I do have my author income report for you. I'm going to apologize in advance just in case there is some noise going on outside. There is a tree trimming project going on. Now, it's out by the road, so hopefully it's far enough away that the microphone doesn't pick it up, but I can hear it right now, which means you might be able to hear during this video a low roar going on, or some industrial type noises, so my apologies in advance for that. And by the way, the reason for the whole tree trimming project is one of my great pet peeves, which is overhead electric wires, because for some reason we have not decided to modernize things and put all this stuff underground, so on a pretty much regular basis, tree branches fall, trees fall, knocks down power lines. It's a whole big, ordeal, and, they have pretty much constantly somewhere around here tree trimming projects going on to keep, the wires tree free, and anyway, it would be so much easier if we could just put this stuff underground, but no, we're just going to pretend it's still, 1892, and we're going to keep all our overhead electric wires. Okay, that's my rant for the day, and I will move on, although I might have some more ranting going on as I tell you about my trials and tribulations getting my box set uploaded. Now, the first issue that I encountered was entirely my fault. So it's going wide, and so I put it on all the different sites, and I do everything manually, like where I upload it, directly to Barnes & Noble, Kobo, Amazon, of course, Apple, and Google. I think that's everywhere. I have it on Overdraft too, which actually is through Kobo now. You used to have to use Draft to Digital, but now you can do that right on Kobo. Anyway, overdraft I said, but it's overdrive that it's called. Overdraft is what happens when you spend too much money. Anyway, so everything went well except Apple, and that was my fault because I did not know, it's in their, terms and conditions, which of course I haven't read, that you can't upload a box set graphic when you're uploading an ebook to Apple. They want a flat image, like, the book cover image. So it was no problem. I didn't know though. And, I used iTunes Producer to upload my ebook. Apparently, they must have sent me an email, that or they just never did, but I don't remember seeing it. It could have gone to spam. I don't know. But when I went in to, check to make sure the book was live and get all the links to put on my website, more on that in a bit, when I went to go check, there was a big red flag on it on Apple, and it wasn't live because of the image that was there. And so what I did was just uploaded the regular flat cover image, and then that was fine, and it went through no problem. But what I am having an issue with is getting it on my website, which should be no issue at all. I mean, I've done this multiple times. I have multiple books out there. I am having a problem right now uploading the image to my website. Now, I can upload it in a shrunken form, in a too small form, but that doesn't really work for me because the way I have the website set up is, I have all my book covers there. They're all the same size, and that way everything looks nice when it's all laid out. It looks nice on the, individual book pages that I have for each book, and, I want it to look nice, obviously, and so I'm very frustrated right now. I don't really know what the issue is, honestly. That's the problem. I think it's with my hosting. I use WordPress for my website. I have the Divi theme, I don't think that really affects it, and I have GoDaddy for my hosting. And here's the thing. I do have, I checked, in my media library or whatever, there is a file size upload limit for WordPress, but it is 25 times the size. It's pretty much 25 times the size of the file I'm trying to upload. So there's no reason for it not to upload. at least based on that. My thinking is there's something in GoDaddy, in the hosting or something that's, preventing it from being uploaded. And, I spent a long time yesterday on this, a long, frustrating time, and, Googling stuff, and it's like, you got to go into the code and change this and change that. But, this is how I found out that I had this, the upload limit, which shouldn't be affecting it. So it's like all the code is about, upping this limit. I'm like, well, the limit is fine. Like, that's not the issue. So anyway, there must be something that's preventing me from uploading. Because I can upload, a small file, but I can't upload a big one. It's not even that big, but big enough so that it, it matches all the other covers and everything lines up nicely. And that's the thing, like, I've uploaded all the other ones before without a problem, so why am I now suddenly having issues? And I think it's on GoDaddy's end, and unfortunately, even though they're an internet company, even though their business is like hosting and stuff like that, you can't actually email them for support, which I find frustrating. I mean, I don't always want to make a phone call, and especially with something like that, like an email or even a chat is nice because you have everything in writing. Like, what do you need to do? When you call in and then have to, like, do stuff, first of all, you're trying to type while you're talking on the phone, which is frustrating. And second of all, it's just like, it's so much easier when you have stuff like in black and white there. You could copy and paste things. Anyway, that's just me, I guess, ranting about that. And it's just going to take so long because you don't, it's not like you just call in and get someone right away. You're going to be on hold for like 20 minutes before you can get someone. And then you have to try to explain the issue that you're having. And anyway, I don't know. I'm not looking forward to that, but I don't see another way around it because even though I can put it on there right now with like the weird file size type, I want it to look nice. And so I'm going to try, I guess, I'm going to have to, put in a customer support call and do that. And it's just so frustrating because this should be something that like takes like 10 minutes and it's now like become this huge project. And all I wanted to do was like upload the cover file like I have for all the other books. So anyway, this is, that is the awkwardness of my week this past week as far as author stuff goes. Just frustrating. But on a less frustrating note, I am making progress on my next book. And I think when I spoke to you last week, like, I had started writing it. I had written a little bit on it, and I've written a little bit more on it. The other thing that I've done at last is, create a whole outline for myself in Scrivener. I use Scrivener to write my books, and, part of it, I think people that are like, dive right in, people might be like, what are you doing? Like, you were just procrastinating so much about this book. And I mean, if you saw, my outline, you might say, well, geez, you spent so much time on this outline, you could have written half the book by now. But it isn't that involved an outline, although it might look like it. If you use Scrivener to write your books, as you know, you can sort things out into different folders. I use the folders to sort out my chapters, and then you can color code those photo folders. And I have done that for this book because I have like 3 different storylines, like 3 different characters. So I can color code them so I know which character goes with which chapter. And it also helps me to see, like, make sure, I'm not, like, writing, like, 3 chapters in a row with, the same character, focused on the same character. So, anyway, it's very colorful, and, there's a lot going on with it. But it helps me tremendously when I go sit down to write, to have that in front of me. And I think some people might even be, like, turned off by that. If you're, like, a true pantser that just wants to, like, wing the whole thing. For me, it just helps me so much to have that roadmap, that colorful, beautiful roadmap. But it guides me along to, so that when I sit down and write, like, I have a pretty good idea of where it's going. I mean, I'm still, making stuff up and writing, but just to have those, like, little instructions in there are huge, huge help for me. And I feel much more confident about, like, okay, this is all, fitting together. I know where I'm going. And I don't know. I can see my progress, I guess, too. And it is a new month. So I do have my author income report for you. And I will tell you, do not get your hopes up because it has April was not a very profitable month for me author-wise. I mean, I did make money. I was in the black, so that's good. But yeah, it's less money, I think, than I've made the past few months, actually. And I don't really have an explanation for that. Nothing really has changed much on my end, but just wasn't a big book selling month for me. So I'll bring up my little pie chart so you can see that, and if you're watching the video. And if you're not, you'll just have to listen to my lovely words about what I made this month selling books. So gross sales, now I sold on 3 different venues. I sold on Barnes & Noble, I sold on Apple, and I sold, of course, on Amazon. Barnes & Noble, I think I sold a single book. I made $2.59 on Barnes & Noble last month. And on Apple, I made $9.80, which is more than I've made on Apple in a while, but obviously not that much. And then on Amazon, where I made most of the money, it was $79.06. Breakdown for that was $51.91 from ebooks and $27.15 from paperbacks. Almost all of those were US sales. I think there was like 1 Canadian ebook sale and everything else was US. So that is a total of $91.45 for April. But I did have advertising. I had some advertising expenses this month, just AMS ads. That's all that was running. And in fact, one of those ads, although it generated sales, it wasn't doing so to profit, so I did turn off. But in April, I spent $32.59 on AMS ads. So that leaves me with a total profit of, wow, $58.84. I'm not going to be running away on an extravagant vacation anytime soon. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely planning to, look more into marketing and advertising. I do have reservations only because, I mean, what I'd really like to push is my thriller projects, but really I only have like the one thriller novel to promote, and I think, it's very tough for me anyway to, generate sales with a standalone book, and also, even if I had maybe multiple standalones, I think there's the possibility for some read through, but I don't really have that right now. So it just, to me, I don't know how much sense it makes to really go, hard on the marketing for that, because of, I'm limited in how I can, do it and also generate a profit from it is really my feeling right now. So that is why I'm working on getting this series done, but obviously I am a long way from that. I haven't given up on marketing. I still am going to try some different things, but yeah, I'm going to be cautious, but try to see what I can do with that. Now, as I was saying, I did turn off the one AMS ad that was running, and that was for my Etsy book, my nonfiction book, which consistently sells every month. And I did have an ad that was performing very well. This was months ago now. And this was the old ad type that Amazon discontinued because they have to change things constantly. And so, I tried to, take the data from that, the keywords I was using and stuff, and put it into a new ad, and it just never took off. So then what I tried was an automatic targeting ad, I think they call it, in AMS, you have the option to manually enter your keywords, or you can go with Amazon's automatic, keywords placement, whatever it's called. So I figured, hey, I'll try the automatic with that. It did generate sales, I will say that. It did not generate them at a profit though, so I have turned that ad off. And I have just one ad running now. I'll probably try to get some more going, but right now I just have one. I think it's an automatic ad for Girl Most Likely to Succeed for my thriller novel. So that technically is profitable. I mean, it doesn't, I don't generate that much from it, but I'm not paying that much for it. So, so for that reason, it is a profitable ad, I guess. But yeah, I'd love to find a way to move more books out of profit. Definitely something I want to do. And even if it's just a small profit, I think I could justify it by saying, well, first of all, any profit is good profit, right? But I think it would be good also to, build up my reading and following so that whenever I do finish this 3-book series and get that out there, that I do have a little bit more of a following to work with, and hopefully can sell some more books that way. But, I hesitate to put too much into marketing a single standalone book without enough, books to generate read through, and without, more books to sell to this audience. So that's kind of the position I'm in with that, because all my other books that I have out are young adult novels. That's one of the reasons I wanted to put out this box set, which if I can ever get everything worked out on my website, I will start working on some marketing for that, and see if I can, make some money with that book, number one, and maybe generate some read through, which that has like my first 3 YA novels in it, so obviously people aren't going to read those books, but then I do have a 4th YA novel which isn't included in that, and so maybe I can generate some sales for that book while promoting this box set, maybe, possibly, if I can ever get my act together and get that on the website and get some marketing going for that project. So that's where I am right now in terms of selling books, in terms of marketing books. I'd love to be able to, give you a really exciting author income report, but, where I'm generating lots of money, but I'm not quite at that level yet. One of these days, guys, I'm going to surprise you. I don't think it's going to be in my next month's one, but we'll see. We'll see what the month holds. The month is young. Maybe I'll sell a ton of books the rest of May. Who knows? But right now we're off to a slow start. Anyway, I do thank you for tuning in, for listening or watching or however you consume this little show of mine. I do encourage you to subscribe, like, that sort of thing. Leave a comment. I do thank all of you that do. And I put out my author income reports once a month. And then I put out weekly updates, vlogs and podcasts about everything else that's going on in my life as an author, my sometimes awkward life. So thank you for watching and listening to Awkward Author. If you'd like to know more about me, you can check out my website at alyssagrosso.com. That's ALISSAGROSSO.com. Until next week, guys, stay happy, keep reading, keep writing, and have fun out there. I will catch up with you guys again in another week.